Hey, this is John Fernay, the co-host of the Maryland Crabs, and I am here today with a Maryland Crabcake for your listening pleasure. What's a crab cake? It's not quite a full episode, it's just a little snippet. Stay tuned and check it out. And make sure you check us out on themarylandcrabs.com. You can follow us on Twitter at MD Crabs Podcast or find us on Facebook at the Maryland Crabs Podcast. And don't forget, subscribe, rate us, iTunes. Go there now. We're here at the Annapolis Pip Moyer Rec Center with the most alliterative person in the city payroll, Jenn Jennings. You've got that name that just keeps
on giving.
I went to a high school with a kid named Owen Owens.
Oh, did you?
So I figured, I see you've got that whole Jenn going on in your name.
That's how I sign everything, too.
And you are not the director of Parks and Rec here, but what is your role here? Because I know you sort of are a little bit of a big part of the glue that keeps Parks and Recs running.
I am the Community Health, Fitness, and Aquatics Supervisor for the city of Annapolis. So it's my hats. I'm in a few different things.
How long have you been here?
Oh, gosh. I've been here since the facility's opened, so it's almost 10 years. I believe December will be 10 years.
Oh, please don't tell me this building's 10 years old already.
It is 10 years old, yes. We're getting older, John. We are getting older.
No, we're not.
Or the building is getting older and we're not.
That's right.
Because we're keeping ourselves...
Time stands still.
We're keeping ourselves healthy by working out and being part of a community and enjoying the fitness world.
It is. Well, I will say that I do absolutely love this facility. I am here a lot of mornings. Usually get here at about 6 o'clock and try to walk some walks and love the facility. I think it's the best bargain for a resident of Annapolis anywhere, and it's even still a very good bargain for anybody that lives in the surrounding areas where it's convenient for them, whether it might be to work if they're not a city resident. You can still join here as well.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah, the more the merrier.
And people always ask me, too, it's funny with the Pip Moyer, they said, is it, what's it got? And I'm like, well, if you're looking for the full-service 24/7 fitness type thing, this is not the place for you. But if you're looking for a place to play basketball, to take classes, to walk or run on a track, you've got aerobics, you've got weights, you've got a rock climbing wall, you've got some other neat little things that are going on there. Just a perfect choice, as well as all the outdoor amenities that go along with this property as well.
Absolutely. And, I really have to give a hats off and a kudos to our members here.
Because, thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Of course to you, John.
How come we don't get gold stars on our cards or anything?
And I really do have to say, my retention for the instructors that we have doing our classes and trainers is very, very high. And when I hire somebody, I say to them, you're going to really love this place. People really embrace it. Our community really embraces it. And our community will tell you what they think, will tell you what they know, and they will take you in as family. And they really have. And we are up to over 52 fitness classes. And I'd have to say, we probably have about 2,200 people taking classes per month.
Now, fitness classes, most of them are included in the membership, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And we made sure of that, making sure that you didn't have to pay extra, because people look at this facility as joining a gym. And as they should, because, yes, even though we are in a recreation center, we are providing you with, we want you to be fit, we want you to be healthy, we want you to be happy, we want you to have nutrition, we want a strong community.
You adding liposuction into the mix later on?
I wish, because I'd be first in line.
It was funny. When I was walking this morning, I guess you've got a new pickleball class as opposed to the pickleball playing, because there was a lot of instruction going on in the three courts where they had the whole group of people learning it, and a coach was throwing the ball over, and they were hitting it back toward her and stuff like that. So it's great, and that was an older class, older than me, I will say. So because I don't age.
Well, of course not. And the pickleball goes. It really just varies in range of ages, and even with our classes too. And again, it's just a whole welcoming kind of situation here, and we have a lot of different things going up, and our pool has opened up, and we're excited for our last year of the old baby.
Let's talk about that now. The swimming pool is not included in the general membership.
No.
But sort of adjacent to the property where the Pip Moyer Rec Center is, sort of like around the corner and just past the woods.
Yeah, over the hill through Dale to grandmother's house we go. That's basically where it is. It's very easy and it's very accessible. And again, as you were saying about the Pip Moyer, it is very affordable. I know drop-in fees for children are $4 and for adults they're $5. And then we also do have the availability to give passes, yearly season passes.
Well, that's what I do. I think it's every February I come in. Renew it, and I think I'll probably mess up because I'll probably change the rates, but I think it's like $2, maybe $75 for the year. Does that sound about right?
That's for the Pip Moyer, not the pool.
Yes.
Yeah. It depends. It depends upon your age. Mm-hmm. It depends upon.
Oh, I might get a discount soon.
Yeah, you may, depending how close you're getting, and it depends upon where you live and if you're a city resident or a county.
Right. I know. I'm a city resident. I get the city resident rate, but again, you put it out there, and it's price that you can't beat. And,
no, you can't. And I work. Obviously, I work out. You'll often see me walking around here in the gym, walking around the track, and I love talking to our members and just getting feedback. And it just seems to be that nobody ever says anything about the price, which is really great. Which is
good. Just don't let the mayor know about that because he's going to raise the prices.
No, we can't let that happen.
Gavin, if you're listening, erase that, okay?
I'm a city resident too, so.
But let's talk about the pool because this is kind of exciting. You said this is the last year of your baby, and I just learned because you just opened it recently. You opened up Memorial Day weekend that pool actually had a name other than the Truxtun Park pool.
Yes, it's the Kenneth R. Dunn pool, and Kenny used to be one of our most fabulous. And every year we have fabulous managers, but he was a manager. Golly, I can't even tell you for how long because it was before my time. But I think it was close to like between 10 and 20 years.
Now here's a question for you: do you know whether that is the same Kenny Dunn that was the baseball coach at South River High School?
Yes, I do believe it was.
Okay, great. I know him, and I hope he's doing well. I
believe he's in Florida. That's what I had heard. So, so it's going to be, it was named after him, and the facility is one of the only aluminum pools left in the state, which is sort of neat in the fact that we're just a little bit different. And it's just so, I love this pool personally because it's such fantastic outdoor swimming, and we both have the same birth date. We've been around for the same amount of years.
So that pool's 25 too?
19. Yeah. No, it's basically 53 years old. So, it's going to be hard to say goodbye to it. However, it's going to be very exciting with all of our new plans with the new pool coming.
And for people that aren't aware of how the money came from this pool, it is not going to be directly funded by the taxpayers. The city used to own the Eisenhower Golf Course up in Crownsville, which is sort of bizarre because the city owns these little pieces of land that have no connectivity with the city, and they ended up selling that to the county because the county already operates one golf course up at Compass Point. The city council went back and forth and they bickered, as they always do, and they said, well, no, the money that we get for selling the golf course, and this was under former Mayor Panelides, must go to recreation. And at that point they had the foresight to realize that the pool was getting to be really bad and it really needed to be replaced, upgraded, maintenance. I think it wasn't so much a replace, but the maintenance and to get it where it needed to be was worth the cost of upgrading. So that's where
no doubt. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, so that's where the money is coming from to fund this pool replacement. And it is going to be an expansion. It's going to be a new pool and all sorts of different amenities that go along with it that we don't have right now, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Again, very exciting. We're gonna keep basically the same footprint, I think, possibly with the exception of 10 feet. But we are going to do, there's going to be 3 pools layout of the pool itself. And there's going to be a splash pad for kids where there won't be any standing water, but it will be coming from the bottom. And then they'll have, things like mushrooms and umbrellas that will be spraying water on them. And that's going to be sort of sectioned off by fence. Right there, you'll be able to also enter a family changing room. So you don't have to go and take the little kids and get mixed up with some of the older folks and
with the
kids and the grown-ups. So yeah, it's sort of like they have their own section, which I think is going to be really, really, really nice and a lot more relaxing for the parents.
What is membership cost there for that? Now, I'm not a member of the pool, but what is membership cost for the pool?
Again, we have same thing is that we have city,
county.
non-city, senior, junior, so it depends for season-wide.
Again, you can do it on a day pass as well. You can go and buy a day pass for that.
But we're getting back to the new pool. Then we're going to have a competition pool, 6-lane competition pool, and then we're going to have a leisure pool that's going to be beach entry, and again with the things that splash.
So these are going to be separate pools,
three separate containers.
Yes,
3 separate containers, 3 separate filtration systems, and all that.
And this summer, which is the summer of 2019, the old pool will be going around and being used.
Oh, yeah.
It will be, I presume, closed in September, right after the dog swim.
We will not be having the dog swim because...
All right, this podcast is done. We're over.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
What's wrong with the dog swim?
Well,
what are you guys having as dogs?
We are literally breaking ground the day after Labor Day.
Okay.
Yes, I mean, they'll probably be starting to set up probably that last weekend in August, and just for time.
Backhoe will be at the edge of the pool, ready to go when the last whistle blows.
Exactly. You'll be lucky if you don't get caught in it leaving. We're going to be starting to dig right away, and it's going to be coming down, very, very quickly.
How aggressive is your construction plan? Do you know?
We're going to be trying to be open by next Memorial Day.
Well, I know that's the goal, but does everybody seem to think that's very doable?
So far, yeah.
Just hope for not a lot of snow, and
hopefully not a lot of snow, and hopefully even if indoor things are, because we have a new bathhouse being built too, that could be part of the winter months. But yeah, it's really exciting, and I think it's really exciting for the city of Annapolis, and I think also what's neat, we're hoping that our tennis courts will be finished by that time as well. So it's almost, we are having a revamped Truxtun Park.
And the other thing that I had heard about the pool, and maybe you can quash this rumor or confirm it, but is that it is designed and going to be constructed that in the future, if they ever wanted to put a dome or some sort of a roof or something over it to get 12-month a year use out of it, it potentially could be able to be done.
Yeah, through the original building of it, they are putting the footers in, so we can eventually put a bubble on it if we have the budget and if that's possible to buy a bubble and get it over it and to operate it for a year-round basis.
Fantastic. Well, that's
exciting.
And it's like the city keeping within what they can spend.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, hey, listen, little baby steps, as far as this. This is a big step, but hopefully we will be able to get to that point.
True. You talked about baby steps, and you guys also have an event that I think is an awful lot of fun coming up. And I may mess up the name of it, but the Kids Triathlon?
Yes, it's called the Truxtun Youth Triathlon. And it's for kids that are from 7 to 17 years old. And it is swim, bike, run competition. This will be our 13th year doing it. 13 years, I can't believe that. Yeah, so we have a junior division, a senior division, and a family and friends division. Our registration ends on June 10th, so if anybody's interested signing up, please do. They could always contact me as well if they have any questions, and with my email address, and it's JM as in Mary Jennings, JENNINGS, at Annapolis.gov.
And when is the date of the tri?
It's always on Father's Day. So it's on June 16th, very early in the morning. And, people say Father's Day. I have to tell you is that so many people say to me, oh my gosh, this is the best way to spend Father's Day. We absolutely love it because they get up early in the morning, they do their family gig, they go out for lunch right after, and then they've got the entire day to themselves.
That's true. And dads don't get the Father's Day brunches like the moms get.
No. So you'd find a bunch of families in the local restaurants because, we've all been up, including myself, since 5 a.m. And by the time 11 o'clock rolls around, you're ready for...
You're ready.
Although we do really get some fantastic donations. Nando Peri Peri.
Chicken.
The good chicken. I love that place. They will donate. They're donating some little wrap sandwiches and donate some goodies for us. Our wonderful vending company that we partner with, Varsity Vending. They'll be donating some granola bars. And this year, for the first time, we're having Culligan Water come, and they're going to be supplying the water for the athletes and for people standing around. Sometimes it's really hot, so we need to be...
Yeah, certainly in June.
And then Brewster's Ice Cream is coming. It's a free icy that they're going to have for the athletes. And then grandparents, parents, aunts, uncles, other kids, they could buy some ice cream or ices, whatever they have available.
Very good. Well, you say this is a youth triathlon, and speaking as somebody that has never run a triathlon, nor has he ever thought of running a triathlon.
Keep on walking, John. Keep on walking.
What are the distances here? I'm assuming they're not running 26 miles.
Oh, Lord, no.
Biking, what is it, 150, and then swimming 12 or something, I think is what a real one is?
Yeah, right. Well, I don't think Annapolis is that big, number one. No. So basically, it's a junior and senior route, and really the difference is in the swim and in the run. The swim distances is a 100 and a 300-yard swim, so 100 for the juniors, which is 4 laps.
Right.
12 for the seniors. And then they all are on the same bike course, which is a 5 mile or maybe a smidge underneath. And then seniors run the loop twice. So it's a 1 mile run. So the seniors do 2 miles.
Okay.
And we put the seniors in the water first, because they're faster, bigger, stronger. So we get them sort of gone and on their way, and end up with the smaller age kids.
Little guys to be able to
yeah.
Well, you said the loop too, and this is something that a lot of people may not know about, but you're talking about the paths around the park, right? Yes,
they run in part of the paths, and that's part of the run course, but then the bike course goes down off of Primrose to Hilltop and then up behind the Children's Hospital and ends up going around Maryland Hall and then loops back around.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. But you know what's really, really, really important for this race, and I'm really putting a call out, is that we need volunteers. We need volunteers to line these courses to make sure these kids are safe, that they're getting their adventure and their self-satisfaction, and that they're having a good time. And we that's probably the biggest struggle of putting this entire event on, because there's a lot of moving parts.
Okay, so what does a volunteer need to do?
So again, they can contact me. I have a Sign Up Genius link that people for the bike and the run courses.
I'll get that from you. I'll make sure I put that in the link so people can do it right for just a click after we're done. But what types of duties do you need?
So basically, what it is just coming for a meeting at 6:30 in the morning with the run coordinator and the bike coordinator, and then they will place you on the course, and you just sort of line the course to make sure that the kids are safe, and to direct them to make sure that they're going in the proper directions.
Right, and then cheer them on.
And cheer them on, and just, and it's funny because it's one of those things you think, oh, I'm going to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock. You get so much out of it. There's so much that you personally get out of it. And as I said, I've been doing this for probably 12 out of the 13 years, and being a part of this event. Every year I'm like, oh my gosh, are we going to be... And it's always wonderful every year.
And I get it. That 6:30 rolls around very early on a Sunday morning. But every time I volunteer to do something, you always do come away with a sense of satisfaction.
Oh, you definitely do.
I imagine, and I've not volunteered for this, but I may this year, but it seems like it's one of those great things. You see these smiles on these kids like, oh man, I can do it. Yeah, their sense
of accomplishment, being able to accomplish such a feat is just fantastic. And just pushing through when they don't think that they could do it, and they do actually do it.
And you got all that peer pressure going on.
Yeah, exactly. And then sometimes you see these kids and they're like, oh, I'm going to wait for Jane and I'll run with her. And it's just like 2 kids running together just because they just became friends on that course.
That's neat.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That's really neat.
Mm-hmm.
That's really neat. Well, what else does the Parks and Recs Department... Sorry, I'm reading your shirt now. The Recreation and Parks Department, because I get that all... I do with the county. County is Rec and Park. I think they're Rec and Park, too.
Yeah, Parks.
The TV show's Parks and Rec, right?
Right.
Okay, yeah, it's the opposite.
A lot of different agencies, they're going different ways.
What else does Annapolis Parks and Recreation Parks have that we don't know about? I mean, obviously, this Pip Moyer Center is a big landmark that we all know about.
Huge landmark, yeah. I mean, I would say, how about our camps? I mean, our camps are coming up, and the amount of kids, and we have camps here at the Recreation Center. We've got camps at the Stanton Center, and we've got camps in several local schools. And a lot of them, we provide the swim lessons for these campers. I'm a huge, huge, huge advocate of kids and people, even adults learning how to swim because we are just so surrounded by water.
You know, it's funny. My high school had two very bizarre, which I thought at the time, graduation requirements. And we needed to be able to swim a mile and type 30 words a minute. This is in 1980. And, I mean, we were all like, what the hell is this about?
Right.
And, you know, the swimming is a life skill, literally. And the typing probably turned out to be a life skill because we didn't know computers were on the way.
Yeah, exactly. You got lucky on that one, John.
But and I still don't type 30 words a minute, but I can muddle my way through. But I totally agree with you to have at least a rudimentary ability to swim. It doesn't have to be pretty, but and I think, 400 and some odd miles of shoreline in Anne Arundel County, might even be more than that. You don't have to go very far to get in water and potentially get in trouble if you don't swim.
Absolutely. And it's just one thing, even as a parent, that I'm definitely a stickler of. And if I even received an email from a 70-year-old person today saying that I want to go swimming with my grandkids, but I don't know how to swim. And we really have not had not many people wanting to do adult swim lessons. But I said, I will do whatever I can. I'll get you a private swim lesson. I'll put you in somewhere with kids, whatever it may be. But I want you to learn how to swim. I mean, I think it's that important, especially then if that person is with their grandchildren and they don't know how to swim. What if something happened to their grandchildren?
What are they going to do?
Yeah, exactly. And I think this person is being very smart.
At that point, then you've got two people that are in trouble.
Yeah, exactly. And it's never too late to learn.
That is absolutely true. But you've got summer camps going on here. You do have tons of rec leagues that use the facility.
Oh my gosh, yeah! Kickball,
basketball
softball,
in the
basketball,
winter.
Even outside basketball now.
Yep, kickball, baseball, softball.
And then the pickleball club is still going, and they'll be also using our courts outside, I believe, depending upon when the construction is going to be starting. And
you guys got outdoor pickleball courts?
Yeah, and then with our tennis court construction, we're putting permanent ones out there too.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the difference between a pickleball and a tennis court?
It's a smaller court, and it's a shorter net, and a few different lines on it.
Well, that's a sort of a craze that has sort of taken over the world. I mean, I see it all over the place.
Oh, it is. I was in New Orleans and this is 2 years ago, for a National Recreation and Parks Association convention, and they had some pickleball courses and how to put it up. You couldn't even get into the room. I mean, you just couldn't even get into the room. People were nudging each other, fighting to get into the room, pulling chairs, keeping a door open to try to listen out in the hallway. Yeah, sort of crazy. And interestingly enough, our national conference is going to be in Baltimore this year. Yeah, so that's going to be pretty exciting.
Very cool. What would surprise most people about Annapolis Recreation and Parks that you do or you have or that you don't? Or like if you happen to, you're at a cocktail party and you say, hey, did you know? And they're like, really? You do that? Do you have anything that comes to mind?
Oh my gosh, I know we do, but I can't think of it right this second. I'm going to be lying in bed tonight, John, and it's going to come to my head.
It'll come to. I'll leave you my number so you can call me at 2. I've got it.
Oh please, no. I mean, whenever I'm out, I always get people saying, "Oh, she's with Recreation Parks. That place is great. That facility is great." I think that people don't also. I think that they don't understand. We do things like latchkey and after school care during the school year, and that falls under Parks and Recreation. And I think another thing that people really don't get.
That's the program in the schools, correct?
Yeah, it's in the schools. So we do the before and after care.
So school ends, the teachers are doing their homework.
Right, right.
And they probably have that last little bit of snack, and then that's you.
Then our crews come in, yeah. That's one. And another one I find that's very, very interesting, too, is art in public places. all the arts. So if you've noticed, about a year and a half ago, we put an art gallery in the rec center.
There's one in City Hall.
There's one in City Hall, which has been there. Then there's one in Harbor Master. And if you go to any recreation and parks department, the arts are underneath there, and the culture is underneath their umbrella.
I'll tell you, I think the Art in Public Places has done a wonderful job over the last several years. I mean, I guess it all started with that sculpture of the hot dogs in the middle of the circle on West Street.
Right.
But although I know I can get into a fight with Ellen Moyer on whether it's hot dogs or the sailing vessel or a dead whale or whatever, but it's up for interpretation.
But you know what, John? That's what art is. It's all about the aesthetic and what it means to you.
And I know they're going into another printing of the book, but you guys had printed a great book. All the different public art that's out there where you can sit there and see. And I've often thought that it would be a wonderful tour for somebody like Watermark to put together to walk around and see the different murals and see the mosaic just sort of appeared on the corner on the wall of the Fleet.
Yes,
not too long ago.
Yeah, which is fantastic.
Which is kind of interesting. One thing that I was surprised at with, again, jumping back to the Pip Moyer Rec Center, is the meeting rooms. And you rent them out. I've seen birthday parties here. I've seen community meetings here. I've seen the meetings on Beat Up for the Lawyer for the development that they're planning to build somewhere meetings here. Mm-hmm. And
baby showers, any kind of party that you want to have or gathering or family gathering. And actually one of our meeting rooms has a kitchen in it. So it has ice and
food prep.
Food prep and a little oven, and it's actually really neat.
And periodically, I know as I do my circles in the morning walking around on the elevated track, I know that you rent out the lower part sometimes, and you've got I think the big ones are like the she sail, the we sail, and I don't know whether they do a he sail or not. But
they don't do a he sail. They should.
But it's I'll say consignment.
Yes.
It's a woman, I think, that owns a consignment company that comes in, takes over the whole, what would amount to one gym.
Yeah.
Of
basketball court,
things. You're also a election host, election station,
and don't forget about all the tournaments we also host. Basketball during the winter, it's crazy, and
that's why I come here at 6:00 in the morning.
That's why you come at 6 o'clock.
That's right. I avoid the mommies and the strollers after 9 a.m.
Yeah,
on the thing, and I can just.
I get it all, John.
It's funny. I sit there and I live in my own world. I put my headphones in, I put my podcasts on, and I just start walking in circles. People say, "Why don't you go outside on the trails and do it outside around there?" I said, "Well, there's trees there, and they might hit me,
right? Or I might run into one."
I just get into my own little world, and at that time of the morning, it's perfect for me because there's not that many people, and it almost seems like we've got our own little breakfast club because we recognize the same people, and it's like, hey, how you doing? We may not know each other's names, but it's a very familial, very.
It's very community. That's what I mean. I mean that's why people love it here, because your face coming in that morning and everybody's hi, how are you, and they smile and you feel comfortable.
I don't smile back. I just get grouchy, put on my headphones and walk around my circles and leave me alone. But that's
don't look at me.
But that's just me. It's like people going like, hey, don't you see these?
I know, right?
They're headphones. They're headphones. Well, let me take a look at that manual that you've got that governs Annapolis Recreation and Parks, and it's just chock full of different stuff. I mean, something I didn't realize that you guys sponsor is a concert series.
Yeah, that's through Art in Public Places again, and they're doing such a great job. So it's called the Summer Concert Series 2019, and it's in Susan Campbell Park in downtown Annapolis. And many of the concerts are on Sunday. Most of them are on Sundays from 6:30 to 8:30. And then thrown in there are some Friday evenings, 7 to 10, and that would be some tango. So if you want to learn to dance and do some tango, really just a ton of fun.
But the booklet that I'm looking at here is, probably 30 pages by the time it's all said. As Jen quick flips to the last page to see how close I am.
No, he's so off. It's 19.
But it's really a good guide as to in generalities. I mean, as you said, the best thing to do is to turn around and look at the website. Because that's going to have the most up-to-date information.
But the website also has the guide on it. So you just click on it. It's very interactive. You just click on it, and it will turn the pages for you. Ah. And it's nice because we have a fitness section, an aquatics section, a sports section, and things like people wanting to swim. We've got master's program for the early morning risers, adults who want to swim 18 and above. We've got swim lessons. We've got camps that use the pool. And then I think a lot of people also don't realize some of the great things that go on at the Stanton Center. And we've got the Cub Scouts and the Girl Scouts and a community enrichment camp for the summer.
And the Stanton Center, that for those that aren't aware, that's on Washington Street in Annapolis. It's if you come if you're coming out of the circles, out of Church Circle, you would take a right on Washington, and it's all the way down there on your right.
And then, you know what, people, when you ask me, I remember something that, when you asked me that, what do people don't realize that's part of us?
See, I'm thinking I'm avoiding a 2 a.m. phone call here.
Yeah, see, you're lucky. You're lucky I got the guide. It's the Harbor Master's office is under Recreation and Parks.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's part of our division.
I guess that makes sense because he's when you're out on your boat, you are recreating.
We are recreating. We're always recreating. So, yeah. And then also in that, which sort of goes hand in hand, the boat launch area at Truxtun Park, where you could go launch your boats. There's parking. You do have to pay for it. So it's right next to our skateboard park. And there's a parking lot. And so it's a really neat area just to go get out on Spa Creek and then, go wherever you want, whether it be a kayak, whether it be a power boat.
And I will say that we're fairly lucky here in the city of Annapolis because for the amount of shoreline that Anne Arundel County has, there are so few public access points to the water. I mean, you got Quiet Waters Park, you got Downs Park, you've got a couple of here and there, but all in all, we don't have a whole lot of access to the water on the county level. Annapolis, not so much. I mean, we've got City Dock, we've got a new facility coming in off of Edgewood Road, or maybe it's Benby Beach at one point, that the council is now sort of debating, which is going to be the future home of CRAB, which is the Chesapeake Regional Accessible Boating. We have, and it doesn't belong to the city, but certainly they're a great partner, but you've got the Annapolis Maritime Museum and Park. You've got the museum on the Eastport side and the park now on the Eastport Light side off of Edgewood Road, which has some things. I know Capital SUP is working out of there now since they were displaced by some development that was back on their old place on Boucher. So we do have a lot of access to the waters of the Severn, the harbor, the Chesapeake Bay, and everything else right here within the city. Well, I'll tell you, there's so much here to do. And actually, probably the best thing to do to find out everything that Annapolis Recreation Parks does is to go to annapolis.gov, which would be the Overlord website, the government website. And then
/recreation. It's the easiest direct way to get here.
And that will list everything they've got. Mm-hmm. You do put out a quarterly guide, which tells you all the different classes, all that you can take, all the different little leagues that you can sign up for.
You mentioned the guide that we have with all of our information. We purposely do not put our fitness schedule in there because it does change very quickly. We have to, we've got to give that information in probably about a month and a half before,
prior to print.
Yeah, right. So we always really ask people just to go online to look at the most current. And usually if we make a change on it, it's at the top of the month.
Well, I'll tell you, and anybody that is looking for a fitness club, what my suggestion is, and this is what sold it to me as I came in here, there was a gentleman, I don't remember his name, but gave me the tour. And I mean, it was, around the circle and down the steps and the basketball. We saw the other room, which has more basketball courts. I guess they've got a batting cage that's in there. Mm-hmm. So for winter baseball training, I think I've seen boxing, fencing. Fencing and everything else. Showed me there's a dance studio downstairs.
There's a
ball pit that is sometimes open and sometimes closed, depending, I guess, if somebody gets sick in it or something.
And babysitting.
There's babysitting. There's a couple party rooms. There's larger meeting rooms as well. The rock climbing wall.
Yeah, we didn't even mention that.
And which sits, you can't miss that. When you walk in the front door, it's right there. This is just such a bargain for everything yet. It was a no-brainer for me. It's environmentally friendly. You've got grass growing on the roof, from what we understand. I don't know whether it's a LEED building or not, or it's probably...
I'm not 100% sure.
Because it was, it's probably not LEED Platinum or whatever their designation now, because certainly we didn't know what the potentials were 10 years ago. But I know it is one of the very first natural roofs built in the area.
Right.
So that's, it helps to keep the building cool because you don't have the sun beating down and absorbing onto the thing and keep the energy costs down and everything else. Well, I'll tell you, everybody go to annapolis.gov /recreation. And that is where your sort of your Bible of anything having to do with Annapolis Recreation and Parks has to do. The triathlon, Father's Day, June 16th, 6:30 a.m. Need volunteers. Please, there will be a link in the show notes here. There will be a link in the blog post as well on how to do that. What's the cost to sign up? Do you know?
I believe now we are up to the $55-65 range.
Okay.
$55-$65 range.
And then what do we get? We get medals.
We get medals. We get T-shirts. We get some food. We get fun. We get experience.
Every kid gets a pony?
Every kid gets a pony and cotton candy. Now, we're all about health here. We want to teach them to have a healthy lifestyle. And with that, too, is that if anybody has any questions, we really do have an incredible staff here. And you're always welcome to call the front desk, and they can, if they can't answer your question, they could give you to one of us, and we could try to answer a question.
Well, fantastic. Jenn Jennings, I want to thank you very much for your time this afternoon. Thank you for allowing me back in the employees only section of the Parks and Rec.
He's feeling very important this afternoon.
And I'm looking forward to coming out and cheering on the kids at the Truxtun Youth Triathlon. The 16th?
16th, Father's Day, Sunday morning, nice and early.
This has been the Maryland Crabs podcast with Tim Hamilton and John Fernay. Sure to follow them at all the regular places, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and online at themarylandcrabs.com. Take a moment to rate us on iTunes. Now, get the hell out of my kitchen. Seriously, go!
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.